Welcome everybody. Has been a while since I did a little bench video or desktop video, whichever you prefer to call it. This one's a little different because we're taking a look at this little old bugger here. This is an old iFlight Turbobee. Belonged to All Be Droned, old Dano over there. And he sent it to me in some box of other parts and such. This one you cannot get the frame for anymore. Not anywhere. I suppose we could have one cut, special cut, and probably put it all back together. Suffered a pretty bad crash here. You can tell it bent the base of the motor mount. But he sent it to me because he couldn't find a frame anywhere. It's definitely seen some miles, and that's okay. These things were a lot of fun. This one, oddly enough, they made a 120 version, which was a 2S. I think it came with like 11,000 kV motors on it. Maybe 10,000, something like that. And I think there were like 1103s. Or 1104s, one of the two. Anyway, this one is supposedly their what they call the 136, which is kind of odd. I was looking at them, and this in no way measures out to 136. I don't know how iFlight was coming up with this. It's more like a 132, so I don't know what they're doing. Old Mitsutoyo here tells me it's 132. So I don't know what they were doing with those, calling it a 136. I don't know how they came up with that combination. Anyway, they may have been measuring to the outsides of the center pole holes. I would measure from the poles themselves to get a more exact measurement. Anyway, so I was gonna take this and make it into some other kind of contraption and have fun with it. But instead, what we're going to do is rebuild this thing, and we're going to send it back to Dano over there at All Be Drone and surprise him. This is obviously a way in the future type of video from what's going to pan out. I'm not going to post this and then send it to him and have him see this video beforehand. We want him to get it and be surprised. But just a little video showing what we're going to do. Now, this one's an old FR Sky and everything. I'm sure he'd be more apt these days to put his Crossfire receivers in it. And it is a 3-inch. This one doesn't have, he may have changed the motors on this. I don't know the history of it other than he crashed it and couldn't find a frame for it. So this one actually has 6,000 kV motors on it. These are 1106, which is kind of a different one. They're Emax motors. The 4S version of this, the 136, came with 4,000 kV, and I can't remember if it was 1104s or 1103s, one of the two. So kind of interesting. But anyway, he could actually make this work again. Just needs the frame. Now, I could go to the extent of going and having a frame cut. I didn't know a guy really close that could do it for me. But I think instead, you've seen this. I've been flying this. This is HGLRC Parrot 132. And it actually, unlike iFlight, it measures exactly 132. But we're going to take this and just convert all of Dano's stuff over to this. It'll make it, I mean, if we hold them right side by side, it'll make it just a touch longer wheelbase than what they were having, just by a little tiny fraction to get the full 132 of the HGLRC's measurement. That's where I really find it odd that these are coming in so close. I think this is actually a 132. But anyway, we're going to convert everything over to this and we'll sneak it in a little secret package and send it to him and surprise him. Thought it'd be quite a bit of fun for him. I really love this frame, but in FPV, so many people have given me things to help me out and to get me by when I couldn't afford them, or I needed to test something else out, and I want to, return the favor. I have in the past sent quads to people. They have sent them to me. So in the kind of routine of sharing the love and blessing others with what we have, I'm going to send this frame rebuilt with all of Dano's stuff back to him, and he can relive some of his heydays with that little thing. Maybe we'll send him some of the bi-blade props too, because these things rip on these. This is running 5,000 kV on this, and man, it screams. It's such a power loop fanatic. It just like will do endless power loops one after the other, and just you can have just tons of fun with it. But I'll just convert it back to a True X toothpick frame, and we'll just deal with it the way it is and have fun. I'd rather Dano have some more fun with his old parts and be able to rip this thing again. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the little lowdown. I will do another little take here after I get it put back together into this frame and let you see what it looks like. I'm not so sure I can make this canopy work. I might have to use the blue canopy on it, but that's okay. Like I said, it's all in the sacrifice of helping somebody else out and getting old Dano. He's such a good guy. Get him back in the air with this thing. So until the next little episode here, we'll take a break and I'll come back with the other part.
A few moments later.
All right, here we are for the second half of this video, and we got Dano's iFlight Turbobee all back together like it should be. Give a quick little peek around here. I apologize for the sound in the background. It's my heater running out here. It's kind of cold this morning. Anyway, so yeah, the iFlight Turbobee for old Dano. Pretty neat. I didn't do a whole lot to this. I kind of cleaned up the front a little bit because it was just plastered with some kind of mud or something. But I didn't clean everything like brand new. I didn't want to do that because I'm sure old Dano could tell you exactly what every speck of dirt on this was from and what crash or some wild story that he has about it, because he spent a good time flying this. So I didn't want to do too much to degrade what it actually was. But I did kind of doctor it up a little bit. What we did was I could have changed the motor wires. It has super long motor wires on it, but that's the way it was when I got it. I didn't want to change that. I should tape a little bit more on these arms up here, I think, just a hair. But anyway, overall, it's all the way that he had it. I put new props on it. I'm really not a fan of these Avon props. I just never have liked them. But that's what he was using on here, so I left them. And like I said in the first half, I might give him a set of bi-blades for this, because these things just rock with bi-blades on them. I relocated the beeper because he had it tied up here on one of the motor arm, or the arms itself of the frame, and it was pretty close to the prop. So if you ever tweak the prop a little bit and you wanted to fly it back to yourself, it would have been hitting on that. This way it gives a good distance before it would ever get really hitting on the beeper. So it kind of removed it out of the way. And I secure mine like that on the back. It seems to work good. They never really get ripped off or get hit by anything back there. Instead of taping the motor or the battery lead down. I use the zip tie like I do on all of mine. A little bit firmer so you can't pull it loose, and it protects it from getting ripped off the board if you do that. Sorry if I go out of focus here. Yeah, it's kind of all back the way it was. If it were me, I would replace this little dipole video antenna, but it's not mine. It's Dano's, so I want to give it back to him the way he had it. So on this one corner, let me pan off here to what the frame looked like. Here's the frame. Get it all in view here. And there's the piece that broke off. So right on the motor screws. So the little frames aren't that hardy. Now side by side again, these are, and I'll put up a little picture here. That's the comparison of the two of them. And what I think they were doing was somebody in China was just cranking these out, and both HGLRC and iFlight were buying them up and using them for what they called the different names, but they were primarily the same quad, just different motors, all that. So anyway, that back corner, as you recall from the earlier part of the video, it was all tweaked, and let me get this focused here. And the base, doggone it, the base right there of the motor was all bent up, and it was almost touching the motor bell. And you can see there it's still a little close, but not bad if I can get it at the right angle. It makes it look like it's touching, but it's not. But I bent these back down into shape so that you could thread in, come on phone, so that you could thread the motor screws back in. Get this stupid thing to focus there. Anyway, so I got the motor back into shape like it should be on both sides. I was amazed that it was still spinning the way it was, because that weird little base piece they use right there that sticks up was almost touching the motor screw. Now it's got a fairly decent space. The camera doesn't really show you that very well, but it does have a good space under it, because we can look at one of the other ones, and to start, there's, you know, that little space there, little clearance. This is a little bit closer over here, but not bad. Let's get the right angle so we can see it. If my stupid phone would work to show it to you. So there's the outside and back there. There we go. So it still raises up just a hair, but I got it down to where it's not touching that motor bell anymore. So hopefully that lasts for him. But again, I didn't want to change a whole bunch. I just wanted to get it back in shape to where we could send it to him and surprise him with his little ripper back. So yeah, looking decent. Fun little quick project. Like I said, I might do a little more tape on the motor wires just so it secures everything really nice, because there's a lot of motor wire on there. I would have shortened those really fast on mine, but it's not mine. So we're gonna, you know, return the love to old Dano. Like I said, he sent these parts to me to use, and so I'm just gonna use them to fix his quad and give it back. So it's good for everybody out there in FPV to kind of share the love, share what you can, help each other out whenever you can, and not just in FPV, just in general with everything else. Try to help everybody out that you can. Be good to everybody, and hopefully they return the favor. So here we go, and like I said, this is coming out right after Dano is receiving his package, so I can just kind of document what I did. I'm not boasting myself at all, just saying that I'm kind of turning over a new leaf. Everybody's been super great to help me out with frames, motors, parts, cameras, VTX, you know, walk snail systems, all kinds of stuff in trades and in gifts. And so I just figured I really need to get on the ball and return that favor to everybody and start paying it forward. Whether it's to them or someone else, you know, if you know somebody that is just starting out, dig through all your stuff, see what you can kick down to them and help them out. If you're into cars or whatever, you know, RC cars also, and you know somebody that's just getting started in that, well, heck, kick some down, help them out, get them started so they too can enjoy the RC hobby like we have. So that's it for now. Kind of a long video. I do apologize, but it's pretty good to document this and show that we really need to share the love. Until next time, everybody, take care. God bless.